welcome to this explainer. Today, we're talking about the ultimate year-round defender of your home. You know, the absolute only thing standing between you and a surprise indoor swimming pool. Yep, the sump pump. Now, if you live in Illinois, you already know how harsh and totally unpredictable the weather can be, right? We're talking swings from torrential downpours to freezing thaws in the literal blink of an eye. In an environment like that, your sump pump is way more than just a regular appliance. It is literally the guardian of your basement.
Which brings us to a really critical question. Is your basement actually ready for the next massive spring storm or that inevitable winter thaw? You know, it's so easy to just forget about this little machine tucked away down in a pit. Well, right up until the water starts rising anyway. But hey, here's the great news. You absolutely do not need to be a master plumber to keep it running smoothly. We're going to walk through a super simple, entirely tool-free seasonal maintenance routine that directly prevents disaster. Trust me, it'll give you total peace of mind. So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with your basement's first defense, then move into the spring reset. After that, we'll cover keep it clean and clear, alarms and backup power, preparing for winter freezes, and finally, the master maintenance schedule.
All right, Section 1, your basement's first defense.
Like we were just saying, the sump pump is the true unsung hero of the Illinois home. When those brutal spring storms hit, or when winter freeze-thaw cycles create sudden massive surges of water, municipal and foundational drainage systems can get overwhelmed incredibly fast. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. The crucial takeaway here is that a short, simple routine, literally just done a few times a year, drastically reduces the odds of your pump failing exactly when you need it the most.
Okay, let's dive into Section 2, the spring reset.
The spring reset is essentially a quick in-and-out inspection right after winter ends to prepare for those heavy rains. And the best part, you can do this entirely without specialized tools. Step 1, just go outside and clear away any yard waste, soil, or debris hanging around the discharge area. Step 2, confirm that the discharge line is actually leading the water safely away from your foundation. And Step 3, test the pump. But don't just listen to it hum. You want to verify that water is actually moving exactly where it should be.
Now, while you're doing that spring test, you absolutely want to verify two incredibly important components. First up, check that your float switch moves freely. If it's catching on the side of the sump pit, your pump simply won't trigger, no way around it. Second, make sure your check valve, if your system has one, is functioning properly. A failed check valve causes water to just pour right back into the pit. This leads to constant, frequent cycling that will burn out the motor so fast. Verifying these two specific things prevents catastrophic backflow, turning what could be a really scary risk into a remarkably easy DIY fix. Moving right along to Section 3, keep it clean and clear. This mid-year physical inspection process is beautifully straightforward. Step 1, just lift out the lid. Step 2, get right in there and remove the silt, sediment, and debris that naturally accumulates over time. This is especially crucial if your pump runs often. Step 3, wipe down the accessible components. You know, this physical labor is completely manageable, very succinct, and it literally keeps the machine from choking on mud.
Now, what's really interesting here is the contrast. A healthy pump sits completely level and securely inside the basin. But as you're wiping it down, be on the lookout for the failing scenarios: corrosion, cracks, loose fittings, or signs of overheating. Oh, and if you hear abnormal grinding, rattling, or repeated stalling when it runs, treat that as a massive red flag. Seriously, don't wait. That means it's time to arrange professional service before the skies open up and pour.
Let's switch gears to Section 4, alarms and backup power.
In Illinois, heavy storms often dangerously coincide with power interruptions. Demand spikes, the grid blinks, and suddenly, boom, your primary pump goes dark. So let's run through your visual checklist to ensure you're protected. Test those audible or cellular alarms by verifying they actually trigger when water rises in the pit. Confirm your battery or secondary power option is fully charged. Check that all your cords and outlets are intact and completely protected from moisture. And lastly, ensure those valves are free of any blockages. Testing these features guarantees you'll be instantly alerted and protected during a power outage.
Which brings us to Section 5, preparing for winter freezes. Before the temperature drops below freezing, you have got to inspect your discharge line routing. Keep the line from running through areas that freeze readily, and verify it terminates safely away from the foundation. If your system discharges above ground, now is the time to apply insulation strategies appropriate for your setup. Doing this prevents devastating ice backups that trap water right inside your home. During freezing weather, vigilance is key. You need to watch out for these 3 major warning signs: ice buildup near the outside discharge, frequent short cycling of the pump motor, or, worst of all, water actually appearing in your basement. If you're repeatedly seeing these issues, do not wait for the next storm or thaw. The fear of a flooded, icy basement is incredibly real, but the relief is just as accessible. Schedule maintenance immediately to identify and solve the root cause.
And finally, Section 6, the Master Maintenance Schedule.
This brilliantly illustrates your year-round plan for a standard home. Early spring, give it one thorough check. Mid-year, do a clean-out and inspection, especially after periods of heavy rain. And pre-winter, conduct a final review before the sustained cold sets in. Now keep in mind, if your pump is older or if you know it runs very frequently, you should definitely shorten the cycle and test even more often. It just makes sense.
We'll leave you with this highly recommended strategy. Keep a simple log of test dates and results. By simply writing down when the pump started, how long it ran, and if the alarms worked, you can easily spot a failing mechanism long before a major event. Think about it. A 10-cent notebook could literally save you $10,000 in water damage. So my final question to you is this. Is your basement's guardian currently ready for action today, or is it silently waiting to fail? Thanks for joining us on this explainer, and happy maintaining.